Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here. Welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. And we're in it. We're in 2024. Away we go. I'm so excited. Plenty more in 24. Great question to start the year with. What will it take for you to show up as the very best version of you this year? What will it take for you to show up as the very best version of you this year? I got that quote from somebody I respect greatly, and it's been very helpful as I thought about it. Well, I have a thought that I've used over the years called Spice Fit. And so I developed kind of a scorecard around that, just randomly create a scorecard for me as I'm finishing up this year, looking into next year. Where am I at in terms of Spice Fit? And Spice Fit is broken down to spiritually, physically, innovatively, compassionately, and emotionally. And by understanding that, then I can see where I'm at now. What can I do to improve myself in all of those areas to make myself even more Spice Fit? You see, when most people hear the word fit, what do they think of? What do you think of? Are you fit? Am I fit? We think of something physical. But I think it goes beyond that. What we're really talking about is what are you going to focus in on? When I look at Spice Fit, it means I'm going to focus in on the spice, the SPICE. And then I'm going to look at how does that each one integrate with each other? How do each one, if I make one better, what's the effect on the other? And my insight is that you make one better and you focus on all, the more that you can do, the more you make everything better. And then the T stands for, is it transformational? Will you get to the end of the year and look and say, well, okay, I made a little bit of progress, or are you going to say, hey, in these areas have been transformative for me? And as leaders, you have to lean into the future, and that means make your future bigger than your past. If you follow strategic coach and what Dan Sullivan says, always make your future bigger than your past. So you're constantly looking at transformation. So fit, focus, integrate, transform. All right, so let's look at my 5 areas. And maybe you can pick your own areas around this, but how would you score yourself in terms of where you're at spiritually? What do we mean by that? That means that are our actions aligned with our inner values and our inner beliefs? Simple as that. I mean, it may include practices such as meditation, prayer, reflection, engagement in religious or spiritual communities, but it's about aligning that together. So I call that finding out what is my essential. If I understand my essential, I can say no to even the very important. It gives me that power because there's so many very important things out there, but if it's not aligned with your essentials, say no. Say no. Say with gratitude. Thank you very much, but I know where I'm going. I know what's going on. Okay. Second one is physical. I think we all know what physical is. It's not just exercise. It's proper nutrition, adequate sleep, healthy lifestyle choices. It's really about maintaining physical health and wellness, and that supports everything else. So the question is, what small step can I take this very morning that will move me closer to the physically in shape person I desire to become? And for me, it's just get down and do a push-up. I found out that if I'm in motion, so we're talking about motion theory, what's the smallest step I can take? Then by doing one push-up, what happens? You're going to do more than one. You always do. It's getting that first motion in place. Visualize what it's going to mean to you, then get into motion. Fourth one then is compassion. Now this involves more than empathy. Empathy is where we can feel for someone. We've experienced before. We kind of understand. But when you get into compassion, that's where you are actually showing kindness through your actions, care, and willingness to help. It also includes self-compassion, being, compassion on yourself. But being in motion, arrows out. Arrows out. Question that I like to ask and empower my mornings is, can I be the answer to someone's prayer today? Okay, the last one is emotional focus. What do we mean by developing emotional intelligence? Really, it includes things like just awareness, how we express ourselves, managing our own emotions. Do we react or do we respond? It's, effectively navigating emotional challenges, fostering healthy relationships. And we call that red R, green R. Red R is where we react. We just boom, boom, react. And if you live your life that way, if your day's like that, then you've got a day that's reactionary, it's scattered, and it's frustrated. But if you practice emotional focus, you can move into green R. Green R is where you pause, you can reflect, and then you can respond. And you can respond with gratitude. If you say, what can I be grateful for in this situation? You can respond with gratitude. Now, having a green R day means that you're intentional with the day. You know ahead of time, you know where you're going, you're proactive, and you're responsive versus reactive. Which do you want? All right, so there's my 5 to thrive, really, another 5. But my SPICE fit: spiritual, physical, innovative, compassion, emotional. I score myself in each one and ask myself, what can I do on a regular and ongoing basis this year to improve myself and make myself even more SPICE fit? Are you willing to take the challenge? I hope this has been helpful to you today. Get you off to a good start in 24. And I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.